Hi guys, and welcome back to Abridged by a Scot. I am Rabu, I am the titular Scot. This is the latest episode in our series Tolkien Abridged, the Silmarillion Abridged. As ever, our mission statement, Tolkien, a little bit difficult to understand, wonderful. What else is wonderful but a little bit difficult to understand? The Scottish. So here we go. So last time, we covered a lot. We covered a double feature. We covered two of the most important characters in the Silmarillion, Fingal and Melian, and then we covered the new home of the elves, Eldamar, and a little bit of genealogy. So we're setting the scene and boom, I am going to tell you today, we are really getting into the story. Tolkien is really starting to cook here. We are getting into the Silmarillion. We're getting into the real meat and potatoes of the story. Because today we are covering chapter 6 of Feanor and the Unchaining of Melkor. Yeah, we're covering, I would say the two most important characters in the entire book. One from the point of, the whole story doesn't happen about either of them, obviously. But from an elven point as well as a Valar kind of point, a good and evil kind of point, although some people would maybe say Feanor is not good. You guys can be the judge as we move on. Anyway, let's get into the chapter. So, we start, it's peacetime for the elves. They are loving life right now. The Vanyar, the Noldor, the Teleri, they are just, living their best lives, basically. Melkor's still chained up. Life is good. The Noldor, in particular, are like, God, you know what? We've not invented something in 5 minutes. Let's get going. And they invent, the idea of, writing and recording stuff. So that's a pretty big deal. Again, the Noldor. Smart boys, smart elves. And it's a good thing that they've discovered the way to record things, write them down, because God knows they are going to have some stuff to write down, I'll tell you. So, last chapter we kind of got the general gist of Feanor. And that he's the son of Finwë and, his 7 sons and stuff. We get a little bit of a flashback here. We get the specifics of his birth and, kind of what goes on. So, Feanor is born to Finwë, who is the High King of the Noldor, the second prong of this elven trident that we've talked about. So he is born to Miriel, his mother, obviously. Of course he'd be born to his mother. She names him Cura Finwë, which, kind of named after his dad, and that's all very nice. But his dad calls him Feanor, and that means the spirit of fire. And that's what he's going to be known as in general for, all his great works and also his great misdeeds, which he has a few. Miriel is kind of gothic and dark and stuff. She's really good at needlework and shit. So she gives birth to Feanor. And to not put too fine a point on it, she's fucking knackered. She is so tired and essentially says to Finwë, says to Feanor's father, I put so much effort into having to birth him. A dozen's children worth of birthing went into birthing this one child because he is, God knows, he just has some fucking essence, he just has, he really is this fiery spirit he's named for, And basically she's like, I'm really sorry. Goes and has a little lie down, because she's tired in the woods of Lorien, and fucking dies. Just pieces out, fuck this shit, I'm out, and her spirit just goes to the halls of Mandos, and she's done. So already, we have the first bit of blood on Feanor's hands. Literally his own mother has died from birthing him, so maybe setting the scene for what's going to come. But anyway, so Feanor starts to grow up, and he is a prodigy. He is a master craftsman. What was that alphabet that you had there? How about I make it 1,000 times better? I've just written my own name down. See, Feanor's breaking the fourth wall, basically. Go and see what you're reading right now in the Silmarillion. I invented this. So, so alphabet, 10 times better. Oh, what's that you've got? Are those gems, taken from the earth? Can actually make my own, and they're actually also 10 times better, just like that alphabet. So, Feanor is incredible, and he knows he is good, and he knows he's good, which is kind of, it's going to kind of become a bit of an issue later on, essentially, There's a thin line between, like, confidence and arrogance, and God knows the line is a dot to Feanor pretty quickly. So Feanor, he weds an elf called Nerdinel, and she's a bit of a cooler head, She gives him 7 sons, and basically she spends most of her days when Feanor is just going off on another one to be like, bro, fucking tranquilo, calm down, like, let's just, like, it's not that bad, like, stop being a fucking lunatic. But yeah, suffice to say that Feanor's later deeds are going to leave him as a single parent to his 7 sons. Nerdinel at some point is going to go, I have had enough of this nut job. Anyway, back in the House of Finwë, so he is a widower at this point, takes a second wife, Indis. She's of the Vanyar, like the super the super godly kind of elves and stuff that live with Manwë and whatever. And she's more of a blonde bimbo, where like Feanor's mother Miriel was more of like a hot goth chick kind of thing. Feanor does not care for his stepmother. He is not a fan. And he is also not a fan of her sons that she bears to Finwë, Fingolfin and Finarfin. And yeah, this is generally where the story kind of branches here, because, and Tolkien does kind of make the point, if Finwë had been happy to be a single parent and a widower and just spent his time with Feanor and blah blah blah, then maybe a lot of the stuff that happens after this wouldn't happen. Maybe a lot of the evil that is to come in this story would have been averted. But at the same time, and again, Tolkien makes this point as well, this way we get Fingolfin and Finarfin. Finarfin's kind of, he's a pretty boy, but there's not so much substance there. But Fingolfin is fucking goated. Finn Goatin, he is going to be a fucking awesome character, and you guys are going to love him when he gets to doing his stuff. So anyway, we've covered the first part of the chapter, the Of Feanor part. So what's coming next? The Unchaining of Melkor. Here we go. So 3 ages have gone past since Melkor was thrown down on his face by Tulkas and chained back early. He has been in the halls of Mandos. He has been playing his little harmonica solo back there. He has been rattling a little tin can on the bars. He has been playing Jailhouse Rock. Finally, here we go. It's time for his parole hearing. So Melkor is brought up to the Chamber of the Valar. And as he generally does when he's backed into a corner, he completely shamelessly, apologises, cries, just begs for forgiveness. Oh, I'm so sorry. My time in prison it's really made me see the perspective and blah, blah, blah. Obviously, the whole time, he is literally already looking around the chamber going, I fucking hate every single one of you. I hate the Valar. I hate the elves. All of the elves, not just the Vanyar, the Noldor, the Teleri too, and he's already like looking at the gems and stuff, the Noldor, man, God, yeah, fucking, I'm gonna have that, fucking have that as well, I'm gonna fucking get back at you, but on the face, on the face of things, he's keeping it cool, I'm remorseful, he's like, oh God, I just want to do some community service, and just, I know I've done a lot of wrong, but, I think I can make it right. I think I can, whatever. I can just line through his teeth, right? And Manwë just goes, yeah, sure, bro. Yeah, you can go. Mandos, who, by the way, as we know, can literally see the future, just remains silent. He is obviously looking at the future and going, this is a bad decision, but, Manwë hasn't pulled a little string on my back, so I can't talk right now. Or it's not one of the, he's not at one of his points where he wants to order farm and actually, talk by himself. So anyway, even the Valar, even Manwë isn't stupid enough to think, we can just let Melkor do, whatever he wants right away. So he's kind of under, house arrest, he can kick about Valinor and stuff. But basically, he's expected to help, and at first he does. He plays the game, does Melkor. He gives help to the elves and the Valar. Again, this is literally would have been the most powerful being in all of creation if he didn't, piss it all away. So yeah, he can help them out and stuff. And generally, the whole point of this is that Manwë, he lets Melkor go because He doesn't understand what evil is. He isn't evil. He literally can't comprehend it. So this poor, well, I say this, but he's literally like the king of the gods. This king of the gods, he looks at Melkor and he goes, yep, he's cured. Well, hey, remember back in like the real beginning of time before all this other stuff happened? Like, Melkor was just like me. Like, yeah, he's cured. Woohoo. However, Tulkas and Ulmo, on the other hand, oh no. They are not fooled for a second. For a second. They're just looking going, this guy is full of shit. He is gonna stab us in the back as soon as, but like Manwë's the king of the gods, and they have to kind of go, okay, it's your judgment, like, okay, so they allow it. But literally, like, anytime, and like Tolkien mentioned this specifically, anytime, that like Melkor walks by, Tulkas is just fucking furious, and it's just like, I imagine like the little like Arthur like hand meme, just like, oh fucking Melkor, oh god, and yeah, but yeah, so Melkor kind of starts his schemes here, as you would expect. He hates the elves the most. He blames his 3 ages of imprisonment on the elves, because that's who the Valar went to war for, essentially. And yeah, so basically he hates them the most, and he wants to punish them the most. So he picks his kind of targets here and kind of goes like, okay, like, how can I really fuck shit up? So he looks at the elves and he kind of goes, the Vanyar, they're a bit too godly and a bit too close to Manwë, and they're quite, they're not really interested in him. They're just like, yeah, okay, you fucking creep, yeah, whatever. Like, you literally just got out of jail, like, leave us alone. The Teleri are on, like, the coast and stuff. He doesn't really care about them. He's just like fucking country bumpkins, like, living by the sea. Like, what kind of use can I have for them? However, the Noldor are a perfect target. They love to craft stuff, they want to level up, they want to learn secret arts, and again, Melkor literally would have been the most powerful being in creation, and is kind of the same as Aule, loves to craft and stuff, so he knows a lot of stuff that he can teach them, and he takes advantage, and he starts dripping poison in their ears immediately. Honestly, yeah, he picks his target well, to be fair. Like, say what you want about Melkor, but he's not a dummy, And later on, he makes the claim that everything that Feanor knows, like even his magnum opus that he is soon to create, that was all down to Melkor. That it was Melkor just, like, basically taught him everything he knows. But Tolkien kind of, gets us to this, like, let's get this straight. Nobody, and I mean nobody, hates Melkor like Feanor does. Like, think of the person you hate most in the world, times that by 1,000, then another 1,000. And you're still not even close to how much Feanor hates Melkor. And a lot of people hate Melkor. But literally, like, soon, Melkor is going to get a Feanor-sponsored rebranding as Morgoth, literally the dark foe of the world. He is going to hate Melkor so much that he is going to literally rename a god, and everybody's just going to go, yep, that's what we're all calling him now. Like, that is how much, all my homies hate Morgoth. All my homies hate Melkor, but Feanor in particular. But we just get the little sentiment at the end that, nope, Feanor never learned anything from Morgoth, from Melkor. Feanor was driven only by the fire of his own heart. Which is just super fucking metal, and I love it. And yeah, he's going to make some bad decisions, and he's going to be a divisive character, but, you kind of got to love Feanor for that. That is some good shit. Anyway, so that brings us to the end of this chapter. Next time, little preview, we're going to be covering the next chapter, which is of the Silmarils and the unrest of the Noldor. That's right, we are finally going to see the Silmarils. We're going to find out what they are. We're going to find out their role in the story. And it's just Tolkien's just going to keep on cooking. You know what I mean? He's throwing on some eggs, some steak there. Here we go. And yeah, the unrest of the Noldor, Melkor's been dripping some poison. Let's see where that goes. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening again. I've been Rabu, and it's been a pleasure. Bye.